Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Endwalker. Sorry, I was doing some math. So, I did up the volume a little bit, and I know I was sounding perfect. Wait, oh, here we go. I know I was sounding fine in the last one, but I'm going to just up it a little bit. I didn't up it too much. I only upped it. Actually, I didn't do anything to it. Shoot. Voice. System sounds can go down. Performance needs to be off. Good. There we go. Sound effects will be fine. I like the ambience. There we go. Now, there she is. Come on, Kyle. Oh. Okay. Oh, shoot. No. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Hidden Stydian's first time in Charlian, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you settled in, we can reconvene at the Valdesian Annex. How does that sound? Tis a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levia estate as such, but I should have like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex is west of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there or not. Yes, we will see you there. To have places, I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith by thy leave. You and your Shakespearean. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. He's just gonna walk around. But those two. Well, Rahab, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you will have me. Come, Hidden, Charlian awaits. It's not the same. Okay. Oh. After you, my friend. I am more content to follow you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with the quest objectives. You can leave him behind by entering a different area using the Aetherite. or by putting too much distance between you. You can also speak and select option to part ways. If you wish to have him accompany you again, return and speak with him at the original location. When he is accompanying you, next try speaking with Cryo. Wait, what? We have an escort mission now? Wait. Hello, X, my old friend. All set? Let us be on our way. Our first stop, assumingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the lake or the harbor. Cryo is also accompanying you. Lead your two companions to the last stand and speak with Cryo at the designation location. While you are accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way, which offer additional topics of discussion. Entering the area into the glowing area and speak with your quest companions to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoy exploring your surroundings together. Okay, so can't remember which one it is. Okay. Oh, okay. I was expecting walk. Might as well tag it. Okay. Come on, you two. The path leading to town is known as... leading towards the sea is known as the Stone. So named for the statue of the scholar which stands at the end. As you know, the Charlian people praise the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thalic was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief. The alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive. As that of, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Charlians can and do worship the divinities of their choosing. Now, that is a sight I could hardly forget, the great statue of Thalic. As a student of Valdician, I was usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. Wait, is that it? Yeah. Okay, guys, next. We're going this way. Oh! Relative? Ah, here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlian tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. Oh no, you don't season things? Wait, what? How can I put this? The food is bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first. and taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the stadium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer. So he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand has come to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlian. The one and only bastion of culinary arts in an island of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the most impressive items on the menu. Not that I've ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Charlian when you came to cheap and convenient Raha. But surely Tartaru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we proceed on? The stairs on the other side of the cafe will take us up to the Aetherite Plaza. So I'm going this way. Come on, you two. Everyone's running around. There it is. It's a beautiful aetherite. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, it is perfectly functioning aetherite. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide as I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, the research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaulted discoveries are the reason Charlian stands at the foremost of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allegian aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct that which was essentially a lost art. And off we go to the next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlian's largest marketplace. Let's hit it up. The market board. Okay. Actually, this is not a bad little area here. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlian, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. Also, they use the sell questionable. They also used to sell questionable prototypes of various research institutes, but I think the practice has thankfully died out for the most part. Otherwise, I can't think of a better place to stock up on for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop of our tour is one which has peculiar relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, and climb the stairs of that imposing building to the very top. Okay, where are we going? That way. packed building, I'm sure. People are already just hanging out doing nothing. Okay. Ah! There we go. The little decorative features are typical Charlian architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the island of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. So I'm adjusting my table here. This is the Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessing of water. For Charlians, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of knowledge which flows from Talik's divine ewer. This is one reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout our city, and the prosperity of utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Actually, this place kind of reminds me of what is that place in 15? Altissia. Everything was surrounded by water, but there is no mountains surrounding it, so... But that's kind of what it reminds me of. Oh, someone got hurt. The grand structure before you is the Rostrum. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver ordinations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the form and duties of the members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raya? Am I boring you, Raya? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Charlian. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, a Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object you to simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. Actually, that is a great view. That is such a view. Okay, come on, you two. This is probably going to be a couple of boring first episodes. It's all talk and travel. but that's, hey, that's what you get. Unless you want 4-hour videos. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Nernkerpf built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as a residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlian families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. The estate belongs to the friends of House Leveilleur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope that was proven to be entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Valdesian Annex? Remember the way, don't you, Rand? Let me think. We need to head towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below to Aetherite Plaza. Correct, after you hit it. Okay. I'm not gonna be like everybody and just jump. Yep, my character's got some gray in her hair. I don't see the reason for sprinting. I'm taking my time. Why are there people just standing around? It's weird. I'm gonna do this the right way. No cutting through. No cutting corners. Oop. Took the wrong turn. As the joyous look on Raya's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Valdesian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of the phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. It's music from 3. It sounds like it's that's 3 or 5. I can't remember. I'm back, and I brought Hidden and Raya with me. Rhea, whatever. I don't know his name. You were right about the ship. Then, hello, Grahara. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Hidden. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. I am not going to even try to say that name. It's been an age. Allow me to introduce. I know, I'm going to try it. Oejaka. Okay, the T would be silent, so Zunjika? Oh no. The T and J are going to be silent, so it's Oishka. Shunchka. Almost sounds Russian. Administration officer of the students of Valdesian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the annex. You may recall meeting his cousin, Dolchka. Ah, yes, Eureka. Actually, no, I haven't. I never went to Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to what became of the island. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home to the students. The Isle of Balls served as our main headquarters, but of course, we often had occasion to visit Charmian. Whether to make this use of the city's faculties and attend conferences or procure supplies from the distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodging for members while they were engaged in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the island itself, vanished, the annex has served as the base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we see that the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telepharoi fall. Through the door on the left, here is the main hall where we can discuss the operations moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you'll probably have time to rest before the discussions begin in earnest. I had a private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. The nap room's perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. Chambers are quite well appointed, far more than some cheap roadside inn. You may be assured. 'Twas simply that we were often so busy with research, or exhausted from our journeys abroad, that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks, and thus became known among the students as nap rooms, even if such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Ah, so is this the end? Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you in the main hall. Clean sheets and warm blankets await. Ugh. Now that's a clutter. So there's my glamour, there's my bed. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, cool. I still got 400 slots. Hang on. Only 15. I thought they were going to give us more spots. Guess not. Oh, I gotta have one of those. Not bad. It's a bit cluttered for my taste. I should show you guys my apartment. In-game apartment. I don't have a place of my own. I need to rectify that someday. Probably soon. Hey, Crown. Feeling rested and alert, the colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. There he is.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroid's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Fourm. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Fourm are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the satrap of Rads at Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Asking a lot from me, aren't you? I'll do it.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alice and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course! The more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
So here's my branching decision. Do I stay in Sharlayan or do I go to Thavnar? Okay, let's take a look at what the item is. It is a chest gear. Okay. Let's take a look though. Really? Oh, actually, that doesn't look too bad. It's a chest armor piece. Display gear total. It doesn't fit with my build, but hey, doesn't look too bad. Sort of. So yeah, this is how things are going to be from now on. Okay, I have to pick them both up. An unsettling change has come over Sharlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause of the Fourm's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, the questioning of the counselors is directly a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to a what and how little they will be willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Sharlayan's archives of historical records of any of the connection to the final days. Suffice to say that the progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now I have this band of willing reinforcements, and search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside the Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, and you will find the archives on the western edge of the woods. We'll go do that one first. We'll come back and get him later. We're gonna tunnel vision this. Oop. Might as well attack this shrine. You charge. Still, don't need to rush. Oh, there's a quest here. I'll do all the side quests later. I'll do that on my own time. God, people are like, look at that. People are trying to like speed run this shit. I don't understand people. I really don't. You're missing out on all this beautiful world building and I don't know. All the cutscene skippers are easily going through this quickly. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you now stand before the doors of the Numenomen. No, that's noun. Nomenon. The damn library. Charlian's greatest collection of books and tomes. It's a library. I'm not gonna say that. It's the doors of the library. The building is actually only the entrance. And one of many that for the archives of the library extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the great caboodle library pale in comparison to the library's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Charlian is free to enter and pursue the shelves. Well, most of the shelves. Only archons are afforded certain access to the restricted vaults. I have dispatched Yashola and Ryan to investigate the cuts. Meanwhile, Alize and Alphano will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Charlian's history and foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot and sort the clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once we found some promising tomes. Happy reading! Well, might as well get the slow one out of the way. Holy! Look at that! That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe deeper. Huh. Is that Hyla? Can't tell. Good grief, I've seen... Nope. You know what? We're gonna go to the desk here. Oh my god, it's a dwarf! Oh wait, no, what the... Wait, that's not a dwarf. What the hell? We apologize for the inconvenience, but the reference desk is currently experiencing an unusually high volume of requests. Please stand by until this issue is resolved. Oh, it's so cute! I want that minion. Oh, jeez. Okay, so might as well start here and work my way clockwise, counterclockwise. If I had a fated title on the spine, Stewards of the Warden of the Wisdom. Stewards of Wisdom. Okay. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it correctly. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Nimkruf, founder of Sharlayan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon rising a settlement on an island in the northern Empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Sharlayans took to heart the words of their savior, and thus forth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon the foundation of the accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from the strength of minds rather than the strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth in coin. And the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Sharlayan would live by their founders' teachings, for the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, and they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. Not bad. Okay. Yep. Forever 20 summers, huh? My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I too once enraged in such foolish practices. But one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all of the world's mysteries that drive us to a reckless abandon, we have so few years of our life in which to achieve our goals. And thus do I share with you this mantra: I am forever 20 summers young. The number of itself is unimportant. Could be 19, could be 23, could be 40. Whatever your age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you inspire to remain. Through mindful, healthy living, you will extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research. Another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths of you pursue. In the pages that follow, we will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition in biological, ethereological, and arcane viewpoint. This book is the wrong subject. Search the... Okay. That... I was not expecting that. That is one of those self-help books. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but the vastness beyond, and of the sun and twinkling tapestry in the night. Some think the dome above us is a finite space, yet among the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar depiction of the boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, the heavenly seas remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. It was the technologicalists of Alag who came close to understanding the laws which govern this starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? If I were to tell you that the Eternal Constellations were arranged differently in the distant past, that their positions continued to shift around impeccably but measurably as we journey into the future? Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? Nope. Voice of a growing city. In the years that followed the founding of the Charlian, civic policy and other matters of importance were decided at the XIV, a public forum which every citizen is eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, the format became increasingly impractical. A large number of participants gave rise to an ever larger debates, resulting in significant delays in vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced as an attempt to cartel proactive discussions, but in the year 201 of the 6th astral era, it was ultimately decreed that Charlian would transition into a new form of governance. The nation would be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Fourm as we know it today conceived and created. So we might need to get someone elected onto that Fourm. Hi, Granville. Bye, Granville. Many years ago, on the banks of Thalak, in the Dwarven Hitherlands, a Charlian colony once thrived. The settlement was established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th astral era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Sharlayans. 50 years later, the Fourm passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Sharlayan colony. Eorzea residents took to calling the colony itself Sharlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. In response, some Sharlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the Great Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave yet another name, Idleshire. The following chapters go into more prominent features of Idleshire. The book does not appear to contain any information about the Fourm or the cover of history of the Sharlayan's motherland for the greater detail. What do I need to go through my Russian accent? Because if we're going to talk about the motherland, we're going to do it in a Russian accent. So, I am going to do this next one in a Russian accent. Long, long ago, on an island in the Northern Sea, there lived a Rodigan man by the name of Nirkhumpf. He was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. It was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperial realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and the horror of the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that his crew hauled him aboard his ark, but the dangers had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash his vessel into pieces. With only a moment to spare, he wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Albithia's spine. The refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them. But it was not long before disputes over a dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, he gathered to him his crew and grateful passengers. They abandoned the ark to those reddened beaks. They journeyed to the coast, where they built a new ship, intent on returning to the northern seas. They landed in the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time became the city of Sharlayan we live in to this day. You gain the fundamental understanding of the Sharlayan history and the foundation of the Fourm. Head outside to the rendezvous. Good day, comrades. It was very nice for you to come, and I so like that. Oh god, that's so cute. The reference pages, they are so adorable. Great. There's my X. Oh, that's where I put it. Okay. Sorry, were you waiting long? Yes, I was waiting for hours. Oops. I wanted to make sure I I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alpha Trial, which should be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles on the Archon stacks mentioned the final days specifically. So we had no choice but to start with the tangibly relevant tomes, if they are even that. At the present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare, and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate, plenty of comfortable places to read, and a readily supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about the little pleasures. You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of our family's servants to ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Sharlayan, we were not allowed across the threshold. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position, and that of the Forum, will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. That almost sounds like 7. Anyway, we'll mend this rift one day. I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family? Or do they not live in the city anymore? Well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Sharlayan, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Illisbard, in fact, for generations my people have dwelt in Corvus, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavenar. The Elegants formed a city in that fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mojito to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquake of the Fourth Umbra calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign. But when the Fifth calamity froze the sea solid, many of the tribes still thriving in Corvus braved the journey back to... Wait a minute. Huh. The Fourth Umbral was earthquakes. The Fifth calamity was the Ice Age. My ancestors, however, chose to remain that they might prevent the remnants of Allegian technology from being misused. Isn't Corvus under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years. Some semblance of local culture remains, as it's the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amunis. I don't know how to pronounce it. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the noble house of Darnus. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allegian civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, the voices have been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allegan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties into the knowledge and traditions of Alag. As the last children born of the Allegan Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends in the students of Baldician, who had me registered as a Charlian citizen. I never even considered, forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by the Archon Louisois, was he not? Stories of adopted wives? Stories of adopted wives and rescued orphans are more common in Charlian than you might think. Is that really say wives? Waifs? No, that's wives. Hope it doesn't say wives. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn. And with sufficient no, that's it. It's pure. No, no. I can't read, guys. I'm sorry. Whatever. We are outsiders. We outsiders can even earn the vaulted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such a love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear! Another good reason for us to get to the bottom of the Fourm's stubbornness. Aside from trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway in these books hidden. More company should be arriving any moments now. Ah! Wait again. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mr. Skryl and has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into the research papers of the Umbral Calamities, as well as the articles written by prominent Fourm members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? Wait, what? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Emirat firsthand, and fear I may have overlooked crucial and critical details. Sure, I guess I can tell you. My thanks. Now, where to begin? First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days grew nigh. Ooh, you're gonna have to make me remember this crap. Ah, yes. The complete destabilization of creation magics. Things are falling apart quickly. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe which wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended the ancient... The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, caused their power of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fires erupting from the ground, indestructible abominations prowling the streets. The more and less aligns with my understanding. Only if the arts of creation had survived until present day, we might have something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Eustola summarizes that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? You could say it was the kneeling sound of the land itself. Go poetic here. Ah, yes. The Amorites spoke of it, didn't they? We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course. Thrust, as we were, into the midst of the madness. But it seems that each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by an ominous noise. Eventually, it resounded all across the star, and not even Emirat was spared. So the ground was crying out, you say, to be considered the Harbinger of Doom. It might be quite undistinctive, and possibly quite loud. I have to speak with one of the library's memats and ask after any book which might make mention of a certain noise. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They knocked Dolman from the sky. Ooh, I can't remember. I think they actually summoned a Zodiac. Yes, with Elidibus serving as his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We don't know how exactly Zodiac brought salvation to the star, only that only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set right. Then, once the ballast was set, it was redressed, the ancients offered further sacrifice to heal the ravagings of the final days. Life sprouted anew, and all these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiac, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or they might have, had Vinette and her followers not manifested the opposition in the form of Heidelin. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of the events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telepharoi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. You two should be reading. Get back to your reading. We've seen what they're doing with the towers, or those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by the unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech? A convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash. But this is all pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return to the attention of the Fourm, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Yashola. But it's time we begin studying these research papers. Wait a third time. Ah! Lag. This is a lot of talking. There she is. What you find, girl? I am the last, am I? Well, my extended search of the archive stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. As you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Giran oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Caboodle Library. Thus, even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on the shelf of any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fortunal with knowledge of the Telepharoi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Fourm would know if the final days were truly upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Fourm's behavior, it is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not to mention, not that I mean to excuse myself from reading beauty, whether they contain a mention of the final days or not. No, these books could yet hold something of value. Weren't you thinking of leaving? You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. Ugh. Fine, I will read a book. You labor for what feels like an age as your solo's research assistant. Okay, where are you at, Kyle? You're over... There you are. Oh dear, you look exhausted. But what about your studies? Were you able to find any book on the subjects I mentioned? Yeah. Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a memmette at the reference desk will point you to the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be accompanied with our research for quite some time. Boots. Wow, this is a lot of talking. Ready for a tea break, kitten? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk about for a bit. You know the last stand down on the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me outside the tables, and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. Oh, forget about my coffee. Coffee! It's 5:30 in the morning. Coffee. Coffee. You know what? We're gonna run for coffee. Coffee! We must have coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I drink coffee. Oop, not going that way. My coffee went cold. I saw a duck. A duck, a bunny, cat. Here's a meerkat. Little dragon. What else we got around here? Yes, I have my Lise. Okay? Shut up. I like Lise. Lise is best girl. I don't care what anyone says. Busy as ever, I see. How very Charlian that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the moods of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Telepharoi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Not really. Yes. Okay, we're gonna go over here first. Okay, sir. What? What's this? Can a man enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share the table, then I respectfully request you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We are simply wondering if you knew of the Telepharoi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all that we hold dear, and... What? You're that Liviel girl, aren't you? And this woman with you, obviously a foreigner. I had heard you were disowned for helping the outsiders indulge their barbaric whims, and here you are, giving truth to the rumor. I think you'll leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you. Oh, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Hidden. Damn, just up and just blasted him, huh? Yes, I do believe I don't believe I had the pleasure. Pray excuse our interruption, but we were hoping you might you might share your thoughts on the Telepheroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Levelaire. Apologies, but I work for the offices on the Fourm, and if word reached Master Fortunato, I was helping you. I see. Sorry to have bothered you. Wow. Okay. I want a coffee. 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 Please give me coffee. What? What? Is that Mistress Alize I see? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Deacon, owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons at the stadium. Seems like an age ago. I remember hearing you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately, there's been gossip that your father disowned the pair of you. Is everything alright at home? It's complicated. And I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation. Oops. Well, it is House Levelaire. No matter how discreet Master Varshinahop may have been, news of your family's doings never stay secret for long. Things being what they were, what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions and only Charlian has the answers. Tell me, Master Dakin, have you heard of anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find out about? Information on this apocalypse? Yeah, whatever we can learn. Fortunately, the Patrons appear to be unwilling to speak to me. I wish there was more I can do to help. But maybe there is. You're a visitor from Charlotte, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're settling the food down, and you might get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. Hate to ask, but what do you think? That's the spirit. Pay attention. Now, and I'll explain where these dishes need to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelet... Oh dear, I'm gonna have to remember this. I need a book, I guess? I don't have a book near me. Nope, we'll just pull up a document. Okay. Tea, water's edge. Let's say eggs. Highlander by the name of Gisela. Outside table. Back I mean, behind them you will see a mojito gentleman. Okay. Cat boy. I can spell. Okay. Lobster. Got all that? Not sure. I'll ask you again. Okay. So we got a rough idea. Okay, so we get a group by the water's edge. This is the tea set. Oh, my love, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. The Telefahu? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them and their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you want to hear about the ritual arcane practices of the Sixth Astral Era, common or aesthetic, I'd be happy to talk your ear off. Are they just going to be ignoring things? Ah, Casilla. She wants the omelet. Right? Yeah. Ah, finally. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in. No time to... Oh, wow. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in. No time to waste. That's awesome. I love it. What? The Telephoroi? Ah, yes. I remember seeing their name in the latest Gazette. And that... And some grand claim about the end of days... Some old senselessness, warmongering. When will the fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. The Fourm made the right choice, and I fully support their decision to remain neutral. Okay. Cat boy! Urban Panther with a smile. At last, the ever big lobster is mine. I have no idea how long. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. You know anything about a Telephoroi? Final days? It's the first I've heard of it. Although I would expect... That would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. Might be a busy time to be a gleaner. What the hell's a gleaner? Oh, you don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Charlian. Priceless books, unusual life specimens, and so forth. So, for those folk who trail after the reapers in the field, picking up every grain which was missed, aye, by all accounts, gleaning is the most malicious and demanding profession. If these Telephoroi make good on their arduous threats, then may uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor, you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads from the docks all day. It's never been more hectic before. Not like this. Okay, back to Alizé. Lady with a big giant axe is serving your food. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Actually, interesting. See, they seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Fourm does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part here so well. Here, a cup of coffee I promised. Yay! But let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the press style? Away from the gossips and their wagging tongues? I want my coffee. Let me drink my coffee. Give me coffee. I drink coffee for your protection. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan?
I want that coffee cup.
Graham said that the Fourm was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently. They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos. A vast complex beneath the island. Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Well, well, well. I want that coffee mug, though. If anyone can figure out how to get it to me, that'd be awesome. Wait, is this gonna be in a... Okay. This might be a dungeon. If it is, I'm gonna have to wait. We should tell the others what we have learned about the Gleaners. Go ahead to the library and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. Ooh! We have blue. I'll do that on my own. Blue quests usually mean goodies or unlocks. I like the music so far. I really do. Kyle, Estella. Yep. Welcome back, Hidden. Been for a walk and cleared your head, haven't you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up some information on the Gleaners. It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from the institutions and bureaucrats. But as you say, they are ultimately answered to the Fourm. A sudden and significant increase in the Gleaner traffic and in cargo, it certainly gives an impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Estella observed earlier, the library's archives appear to contain no information considering the final days. Coupled with what Hidden and Alice learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Charlians know nothing of that peculiar period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telephoroi is wholly unlike the apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Fourm claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzeur's request for aid. Now, the Gleaners, official agents of the state, are being mobilized in order on an unprecedented scale. I don't think it's a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities and the surface are in service of the Fourm's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. What do we expect down there? Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. I hate you, Kryle. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I'd like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. I would be glad for your help. Oh, that would be... God damn it. That would be a great help. Thank you, Ryan. Raha. Let's head down the stairs over there. I'll show you where the entrance is. Is this going to be a dungeon? That'd be awesome. Give us something to do. I haven't had a fight yet. It's going to be the end of the second episode here. Ready? Labyrinthus is not too far ahead from here, but you may find a path to be a bit disorienting. I'll take the lid. You stay close. Follow Ali's hands. Hey, try not to fall behind. Great. Off we go then. Sets off at a brisk walk. Okay. I still walk faster than you. Really? It's pleasant here among the trees. We really should move along. Can you, like, speed up, please? I have 2 speed, brisk walk and run. Now we run. Try to keep up. Thank you. About time. Probably still walk faster than you. Keep straight to the path. Cross the bridge. Come on, Slowpoke. I'm gonna overtake you if you don't hurry up. Yep, I'm about to overtake you. Ah, up here. What's that? Not far now. Oh, I need this part. I'll catch up. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. Hey, the Chocobo Keep. Cool. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone down to the lift. Down we go. Okay.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
What's up, Crow? Okay, I guess we're gonna search this room real quick. There's Alphino. Let's go see Erinville. You here to help? Are you here to help or give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm not in the mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have to pack up Merrimit's running loose. Your exchange with Erinville has taught you about exhausted gleaners. Okay. Ooh, Junkmonger. Minder. Looks like this is probably going to be an area where we're going to, you know, be fighting. Let me think. The Rhea seeds should be item 1051. Cumin seeds 1059. Snurbbleberry 1060. Or is it 1061? Ugh, my head feels like it's stuffed with mako grass. Why more loads to take out than Why more loads to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes Corinthian carrots for the Girabanian carrots. What then? Our shipments coming in and out of Labyrinthios. Okay. David. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock of Labyrinthos. You know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did it a few summers ago. Then, with no warning at all, its mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Demand if I know the reason. Could be they're changing the layout? Yeah, perhaps the next big expansion? Taking stock. Any looking? What tales the game just have to tell you? Blip, taking stock. Large shipments and gleaners. So, the grand operation began without warning. And for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. It would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right. The Fourm is definitely up to something. And they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. Okay. So this is where I'm going to end it, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying. Hopefully we have a fight of some kind soon. Oh, it'll be nice to put my axe skills back to use. But for now, that's all we're going to do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.